Right then, good evening everyone, welcome to this Toga Motorsport stream, and we are here this evening for the World Tour Season 2 race at the ever wonderful but also ever difficult Zolder. One of my favourite tracks personally, not to everyone's taste, as we will soon find out. Hello to everyone in chat, Zita, Mank and Emirius, thank you for being here, here on YouTube this evening. We will be getting going, I believe, very shortly for qualifying. We're just waiting for everyone to join. Nice full grid at the moment, 22 cars, although I think we have got more coming. We'll wait and see. Just switching into broadcast mode, there we go. Looking a little bit tidy. Had a new Windows install today, so tidied up the OBS stream a little bit as well. Everything nice and synchronised, you know, everything looking good. Boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing. You better know it. I have a funny feeling we've got a server restart. Either that, or ACC has just randomly stopped sending me information. Mic seems very low. Yeah, I've been having problems with that a lot. Hold on, let me see if I can, might be able to... Here we go. I should be able to up the volume like this. Is this sounding any better? Okay, like this maybe? Yeah, I've been having mic problems ever since I had this fresh Windows install. And we have got a server restart, that's fine. I will hop out of the server, we will just switch to technical difficulties page. Yeah, sorry, I know it's not ideal at the moment, guys. I'm not really sure why I'm having such mic issues. But here we go, reconnecting to the server now.
Green light, give it all you can.
And right as we do, we jump into onto Bart DeCalva's car, who is driving one of the Toga liveries, although admittedly without any sponsors on it. I'm not sure why that is. Probably my awesome liveries having a massive moment. Yeah, what I might need to do is bring up a Realtek audio console and just change the settings on it, but I'm hoping you guys are able to hear me okay. If not, I can continue to mess around with my stream settings a little bit. Although I think at the moment I should be audible. Please do let me know as soon as possible, guys, if you're having any issues hearing me. Can hear me fine now. Wonderful, that's perfect. And here we go. The client hasn't stopped sending data. There we go. Good to know that you guys can hear me better now. If you are watching on YouTube or on Twitch this evening, please feel free to say hello. It's always nice to talk to everyone who's watching. To be entirely honest with you, I cannot remember the format of this championship because I have not been massively active since it started due to moving away from home. Out of my family home and into a little one-bed flat with my partner. So I'm not 100% sure on the format. I believe we're going to have it'll either be a 20-minute or a half-hour quali session, followed by for the World Tour. I believe it's probably an hour-long race. But again, we'll find out, and we'll find out together. It'll be fun, a little bit of mystery and adventure for all of us. Please let me know now if the game volume is too low. I can continue to adjust. I'm still balancing things out at the moment. Obviously, first stream back, everything takes a little bit of refinement, but we're running pretty well at the moment. Thank you, Mank. Yeah, we're enjoying it so far. It's been good to us. This living together stuff isn't as isn't as difficult as everyone thinks it is. Yeah, Mirius. I'm not living on my own. I'm with my I'm with my brilliant girlfriend. Game is too quiet. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. I can turn the game up just a notch or two. There we go. Should be a little bit more balanced now. At least when something's happening and you can hear it. At the moment, that might be because I'm not focused on anyone. There we go. That is time done for the practice session, which means we are going to be getting a which means we're going to be moving into quali very shortly, at which point we'll find out how long quali is, because to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out, and that's the fun of being here on these Toga Motorsport streams. You find stuff out as you go. 24 cars currently in the lobby. That is a very nice full grid for this evening's race. The World Tour is generally one of our more competitive series. It is a paid entry series as well, so the people who regularly come home at the top of the standings do get a financial reward for doing so. It's one of the few paid entry events that we run here at Toga. We like to try and keep as much free as possible, because we know, not everyone has got, especially not sim racers with how expensive sim racing equipment is, not everyone's got the money lying around. It's a 15-minute qualifying session. Okay, that's a little bit shorter than I was expecting, as we see Zeta Pickering there, revving it up out the pit lane and spinning. We've all been there. I've done that many times. And it is just a clamour to get out of the pit lane right now. I'm not quite sure who got out first. It is, it's Alexi Degani. The Italian man in that beautiful Bentley has gotten out first, the number 61 car. That Bentley does look good. And it eats curbs like a champ. So around here, that's not a bad choice of car. I would say. That is not a bad choice of car. Let's have a look. Who else of familiar names have we got in here? Oh, we've got Grant Willamette. A regular here at Toga, him and his teams taking part in a lot of Toga events, always thankful for their support and happy to see them on the grid. Another familiar name is Andrea Morganella in the VM Tech 3 car. Obviously, I'm familiar with the VM Tech guys, familiar with Davide and the rest of the VM Tech team. Tatari is a familiar name as well, Raffaele Tatari, sorry, for the FRS factory team. And Gabriele Crepezzi, familiar as well. Danny McCutcheon, a name that I've definitely heard on here before. Samuel Ganley, generally one of the faster drivers, is Sam Ganley in that number 190 McLaren. We'll see where he's able to end up today. Barry Hagen racing in the Purple Nightmare number 67 Porsche. Unfortunately, not looking very purple here. That is because my livery sync, I had to stop it halfway through. I got to like 800 of 1,000 liveries and had to start, and I had to stop it because otherwise it sucks too many resources to be able to stream. Because Awesome Sim Racing is a very good and very great app, and it works 100% of the time, all the time. Airy Fasttail, of course, in the Airy Sport Aston Martin. Haven't got the livery on that one either, unfortunately. Davide Mandalesi in the number 1 VM Tech car, well, the number 71 VM Tech car, number 1 in terms of team order. Very, very quick man, and I like that that little kind of gold livery he's got going on. That's pretty sweet. In fact, being followed by Andrea Morganella, his teammate there. Callum Jones in the Toga Esports Mustang machine. That livery has not loaded. Theoretically, I should have that livery actually downloaded hard onto my PC, but I don't. But yeah, here we go. We're going to have the first lap times coming through any minute now. Who was it that got out first? It was the number 61 car, and he's just crossed the line. There we go. 27.3 is the first lap time on the board. Degani still sitting at the top of the timing tables at the moment, 4.5 tenths ahead of Grant Willamette in the number 316 Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo. Bit of a field spread at the moment. We will see it come back together towards the end of this session as people really get their eye in on the track. New lap times are coming in pretty much everywhere. Tell you what, Davide Canton in the Cube Controls car, that's a very nice livery. Currently sits P15 but set the fastest first sector time, but was then a second slower in sector 2. I have a funny feeling maybe there was a little bit of possibly a little bit of impeding there, as Degani sets a new fastest sector time, just to have it taken away by Yuval Sharon in the SWIT racing team. I'm assuming that's SWIT, or is supposed to be. Or is it Switzerland, Italy racing team? That one makes sense as well, SWIT. Or Sweden, maybe? I don't know, I'm just snowballing here. What was that? Sorry if you had that massive burst of static come through there. I'm not sure what that was. It came through on my headset as well. Not really sure what's going on. But yeah, just 0.125 of a second off of the top at the moment. I cannot remember how to cycle through and get the... how do you cycle through to get the lap times turn up next to the thing? Someone showed me how to do it and I cannot remember for the life of me. I could just keep hitting buttons until one of them does something, but I'm not really sure how that's going to go. I'm going to stop hitting buttons for now, actually. Oh, here we go. Someone new to the top of the timing tables. It's Francesco Maggio in the FRS factory car. Has gone half a tenth, 6/10 of a second, 6/100 of a second, sorry, faster than Alexei Degani. But Alexei Degani was on an invalid lap there, actually, was Alexei. Currently improving. Looking for the big improvers here. Not many big improvements coming. Bart de Calva, actually, 3.5 tenths up. Big improvement coming from him. Bruno Zanchi is improving by 6.5, 7 tenths of a second, but is on an invalid lap. Loris... Whoa. Guaglio? I'm not going to take any more stabs at that, in fear of getting it wrong. Here we go, Bart de Calva, now 6/10 of a second up. Big improvement coming from the Aston Martin man in that Toga Esport livery. It's going to be 6/10 of a second across the line for Bart de Calva, which is going to launch him up to P14. Nice lap time from him. Grant Willamette currently improving, 0.2 of a second. However, Alexei Degani is also improving in that number 61 Bentley. Where is he? There he is. Currently just over a tenth up, 10.5. 0.17, 0.2, 0.25. 0.3 of a second. It's going to be bang on pretty much 0.3 of a second improvement here for Alexei Degani. Indeed it is. Takes it to P1 by 0.238 of a second. 7 minutes left to go. He's going to be back in the pits for a new set of tyres. Grant Willamette coming through the second of the many chicanes here. Second of 3, I think. Manages to keep that lap legal. Oh, he's going to hit traffic here unless Yuval Sharon can get out of the way in a timely manner, which he does by going off track. That's fair enough. 0.2 now, Grant Willamette is improving by. It'll find him a position ahead of Callum Jones, who's currently 0.7 off of the leader. But Grant Willamette needs to find some time through this final chicane. Indeed he does. 0.3 of a second now improving for Grant Willamette. It's not going to be enough to improve any further. It will be P4 for Grant Willamette right now, but no further than that. Trying to see who's got a relatively kind of late lap time and is improving. Bart de Calva almost improves there, losing the time out the final corner. But I think the next person coming across the line is going to be Dario Vianello in the SRT sim racing team. Going to be improving 3.5 tenths. Not going to find him a position at this point. Oh, actually, I lie, it does. puts him just 300ths ahead of Davide Canton, sorry, in the Cube Controls Reparto Corse team. Francesco Sala in one of the other FRS factory cars is improving as well. Currently 0.3 of a second, 0.4 of a second, back to 0.3 of a second out the hairpin. But he's finding time. 2 and a bit tenths or 0.3 would find him in quite a few positions here. Would move him up onto the back of the top 10. It's not going to be that much though. It's going to be 1/10 of a second across the line, which is going to find him 2 positions up to P14. Not bad, not bad. Immediately though, back down to P15 as I believe Danny McCutcheon has just found time across the line there. Yuval Sharon is starting another lap in the Switch Racing Team Ferrari 33 car. Here we go, Gabriele Crepezzi improving. 55 seconds into the lap and is up by 0.4, pretty much. Leaving a little bit of track on the table there. 0.4 now, improving. Just the final chicane to go. 0.4 would find him a bundle of positions up to P10, I believe he would just slip into. And it's going to be 0.5 across the line actually for Crepezzi. It's going to find him to P11. He doesn't quite break into that P10. Just under 1/10 away from being P10 there. Yuval Sharon improving, but only by about 1/10. 29.8. Yeah, that's a tiny little lap time, Zeta. That's nice. That is not a shabby lap time at all. Yuval Sharon improves, but not by enough to find a position. Callum Jones improves, but not by enough to find a position. Oh no, he did actually. Sorry, he moved ahead of Edvarsson. Bruno Zanchi now looking to improve. Needs 1/10. Has found it. 2/10. Maybe even pushing 2.5 across the line. Bruno Zanchi finds his way to P13. Bentley in the front. Indeed it is at the moment, yeah. Yeah, Alexei Degani is fast in that Bentley. Although there is competition, he's going to have to watch out. Dan Edvardson improving 2/10. Needs some time in this final chicane. There's Alexei Degani just behind him. Meow. By the way, guys, ACC does not do justice to how aggressive these things sound. There we go. Dan Edvardson up to P5. I went to Goodwood last weekend, and these GT3 cars sound insane. Heard a couple of them go up the hill, especially the Lambo. Is 23 cars? No, we are at 24 cars on the grid today, Emirius. 24 cars on the grid. Barry Hargan improves. P11 for Barry Hargan. Nicely done there. 1.1 seconds off the leader. And this just shows you the amount of talent that we got here at Toga Motorsport, as people are still improving. I expect we're going to end up with pretty much the top half of the field being separated by, on average, 1/10 in between each car, which is just madness. The racing here is going to be brilliant once we get going with it. Alexei Degani finding more time. 1.5 losing a bit of time now, down to just 1/10. Clipping the dirt on the exit there. Very standard thing to do. Finding a bit of time on the initial exit, then got a bit sideways, down to 1.5. Gotta watch out. because Francesco Maggio was finding time until the exit of that final corner. Goes 0.17 off the leader. It's going to be another 10th found for Alexei Degani. It's a 26.942. That is an insane lap time. Insane. But always more people coming to the line. 0.3 improvement at the moment for Mirko Lafranchi. Two tenths. 0.3. Back to 2.5. But across the line, it's going to be a position gain up to P16. Not a bad time at all. Next to the line is Bruno Zanchi. He's going to improve by 3.5 tenths. That's going to be a big time fine for him. P10 for Bruno Zanchi. Big improvement there for him. Raffaele Tattari is improving as well in one of the FRS factory cars. Only coming through the first few corners so far, but is already 0.3 up. No, the Bentley isn't worth it anymore. It doesn't get any updates. Generally, unless you're a wizard, the Bentley isn't worth it. Not really. Grant Willemot is improving, but so is Alexei Degani. Alexei Degani out the final corner, improving again. It's going to be another 800th of improvement. Indeed it is. 26.862. Madness. And back to the pits. He's done. He knows that that is the lap. Yuval Sharon takes P4 at the flag. These are the laps that matter now. People coming to the line need to be improving. Pierluigi Lelli looking to find time out of this final corner. He doesn't. It's going to be a break-even lap for Pierluigi. Yeah, doesn't find any time there. Not finding any time either is Francesco Sala at the moment, unless he can get a better exit out of here. No, he doesn't. And Grant Willemot doesn't find anything on that final lap either. Hello, Charlie. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. So there we go. Alexei Degani takes P1. Grant Willemot is in P2, almost 0.3 behind. Then it's Francesco Maggio, Yuval Sharon, Dan Edvardson. Then we got Callum Jones, Davide Vianello from the SRT team. Guaglio in the number 20 Ferraris in P8. Then it's Davide Canton in P9 in the number 96 Ferrari. And then Bruno Zanchi in the number 8 Ferrari wraps up P10. A good showing from Ferrari in this qualifying session. 5 Ferraris in the top 10. They are the only car make with more than one car in the top 10, and they've got 5 of them. Madness. These guys are on a domination run in this session at the moment. It's an hour and 20 minute long race. That means possibly we're looking at we're definitely looking at one pit stop, because a fuel tank will not get you to the end. I'm not sure when our pit window is going to open. We will wait and see. Yeah, good luck, Zeta. I'll make sure not to commentators curse you too much. Just sweaty at the moment, eating my dinner. Nice, Charlie. I had chicken korma for dinner. Shoved it down my throat in like 6 minutes, just before the driver's briefing started. Might have left it a little bit late to start eating, or to start cooking, for that matter. But there we go. It is what it is. So yeah, a nice full grid here this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are. Here in Zolder, it's nice and full. And we are just waiting now. Another minute. And we will be getting going. Sorry guys, I'm on the way. I've just got to log into my YouTube so I can actually send messages to people. The stream isn't ending, it's not ending. Yeah, Charlie, I just bought that new, I just bought a new SSD as well. Actually, the same one that you've just bought. It's rapid, mate. It's proper quick. I was saying I was logging in, okay? I couldn't do anything. I was logging in to my blooming YouTube so I could actually send messages. You could hear me, you're all just baiting me. Here we go, for the formation lap. Alexei Degani moves away. And it's a bit of a slow getaway from Grant Willamot, maybe thinking he's able to... maybe hoping he can get a bit of time there, maybe not. But yeah, here we go. Formation lap is underway. For an hour and 20-minute long race here at Zolder. Probably going to be another 2 minutes for the outlap, at least. As they duck behind the trees. Tidy turn 1 bets? Absolutely not. There is 0 chance of that happening. Here we go, coming to the final hairpin. Here we go. We are getting ready. We are 2 by 2. Coming to the race start. Leaving plenty of room for each other. Right over on the far left and right of the circuit are the top 2. Grant Willamot sat very far back in his position box. Here we go. Green light. We are underway here in Zolder. Looks like Alexei Degani has got away cleanly. Side by side of Francesco Maggio. Or they've got through cleanly, but those behind maybe haven't. Let's pan back and have a look. Turn 1 has been clean. Everyone got through alive. I eat my words. Sorry to everyone when I said that that we weren't going to get through turn 1 cleanly. We clearly have. Apart from Bart de Calva is now around in turn 2. Let's see what's going on as we come towards... Yuval Sharon side by side with Dan Edvardson here. He's got the inside line into the chicane. Is he going to make the move? Is it going to stick? Up the inside, Dan Edvardson tries to make it happen, but Yuval Sharon sticks around the outside and keeps that position for now. Further back in the field was Davide Mandalesi, and he has, I believe, that is going to be Barry Hargan, and Andrea Morganella involved in that incident. Indeed it is. Down to the bottom of the field as well, and now Andrea Morganella going to be overtaken possibly by Bart de Calver, and that'll be last place for Andrea Morganella, and 22nd for Barry Hargan. That's very unfortunate, but moves are being made further up the field. Mirko Lanfranchi is making moves here. He's moved up a position since we last saw him. Sam Ganley moving up a position as well. Davide Mandolesi all over the back of Zita Pickering, who has gained... It was gained 7 places since the start of that race. Since the start of the race, Zita Pickering has gained 7 positions. Here we go, Davide Mandolesi looking at the inside into the final chicane. It's clean, there's no contact there. Very clean racing from the two of them. Davide Mandolesi gets in the dirt and is now going to have to be on the defence, because I think Tatari might be coming for him. No, not this time around. Davide Mandolesi may be looking at the inside on the brakes. Into turn 1, indeed he is. Zita Pickering holds it around the outside, says I don't think so. Oh, and contact there a little bit. Zita Pickering, I think, has managed to hold it. But I think Davide Mandolesi now is going to get through, coming through turn 3. And into turn 4, Davide Mandolesi is ahead, and now he can continue to chase down this pack ahead of him. Oh, as that was Tatari dropping down the order as well. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if he just got in the dirt on the exit of turn 4, but dropping down the order there is Tatari. Unfortunate for him. I am keeping my eye on the battles further up the field. Don't you guys worry. I am going to pan to those if we need to. Barry Hargan may be looking for a move here on Lely. It's not quite happened, not this time. He's right tucked behind the rear wing of that Aston Martin. He's going to be looking to get past as soon as possible. Maybe into the final chicane for Barry Hargan, not this time. Position change. Bruno Zanchi gets past Laurie Squaglio there for P8, that is for Bruno Zanchi. Ferrari on Ferrari, and still 5 Ferraris in the top 10. Domination game from the Ferraris at the moment. Back down the order, Barry Hargan has managed to get past Lely there, and is now looking to get past Sam Ganley in the number 190 McLaren. Is it going to happen down into the first chicane? Indeed it is. Barry Hargan gets past the number 190 McLaren and up into P19, Zita Pickering next in his crosshairs. Gaps across the field just starting to spread out a little bit. Though there is still plenty of close racing action, as Lely there thought about a move, I think, on Sam Ganley. Didn't quite manage to pull it off, has maybe left himself vulnerable from behind. I think he's going to be okay for now. He's going to get away with it. Oh, Sam Ganley has gone off there. Not quite sure what happened there. And Bart de Calver has got past Lely. I think there's been contact between the two of them. Sam Ganley now drops down into last place. He's not going to be happy about that. Here we go. We're going to see some more Ferrari on Ferrari action. Bruno Zanchi has not been able to get away from Loris Squaglio. The gap is 2/10. It's not going to be enough to make a move into this chicane. But they've got to watch out because Canton is only just behind them in yet another Ferrari. And then behind that is McCutcheon in yet another Ferrari. The Ferraris here are endless. No move going for Guaglio at the moment. The track is going to be hotter as we get going. When we have the first track limit drive through, yeah, track limits are easy to pick up around here. That is not a lie. They are very, very easy to pick up around here. I have had so many drive-throughs in Zolder races. Yes, soon I think is pretty accurate. Oh, here we go. Barry Hargan now on the back of Zeta Pickering, setting up the switch move through turn 3. Gets better on the power, does the Porsche, and past Zeta Pickering through turn 3 and into turn 4. Barry Hargan now in P18, and is going to be looking to make some inroads on the cars ahead. Davide Mandalesi is making inroads at the moment on Salah in the FRS factory BMW number 2 car. Last lap, 4/10 taken out of Salah. Oh, as Zeta Pickering I think has gone round in the first chicane. Indeed, she has. That's very unfortunate for Zeta. Down to P24, and all of that progress undone. That's disappointing to see. As Bart de Calva goes straight on at the second chicane, and has lost positions because of it. Tatari getting ahead of Bart de Calva there. Not sure if there was maybe contact between them that caused de Calva to go off track. And Andrea Morganella looking to get up the inside of Bart de Calva. Not going to happen into the hairpin here at the bottom of the track in Zolder. And still these Ferraris are right with each other. Bruno Zanchi, Canton, Loris Quaglio and Dan McCutcheon. Is it Dan McCutcheon or is it Dave McCutcheon? Let's find out. Danny McCutcheon. I was right with Dan. I'll take that. Davide Canton. I'm trying to remember. There's so many different people whose names start with D's in these races, man. Not many small gaps across the field at the moment. These guys are all together, but no one's making a move. They're all kind of just sitting with each other, waiting for each other to maybe make a mistake. As Alexei Degani just runs away with this race right now. 3.3 seconds in the lead. Alexei Degani in the Bentley. Last lap, 4/10 faster than anyone else. 5.5 tenths faster than anyone else on the last lap. Has the fastest lap by 6/10. Just hustling, getting it done is Alexei Degani right now. Here we go. 0.2 now between Loris Quaglio and Bruno Zanchi. Still 0.2. Is this maybe where we start to see some rearranging in this order? 0.1. Ferrari looks to the inside. That was someone off in the background. It was Mirko Lanfranchi maybe, or was it Ari Fastel just clonking the wall in the Aston Martin? I think it was. No damage visible on that car, but not performing as well. Mirko Lanfranchi looking to the outside, turns into the inside later on the brakes, possibly, than Ari Fastel. Can't make that move happen, although Ari Fastel will have picked up a track limits warning there. Luca Guaglio, Loris Guaglio, sorry, I think may have tried to make a move happen. Back to 0.8 now. 0.1, Dave Brewster is behind Mirko Lanfranchi. Possibly a switchback move coming here from the McLaren man. No, gets it wrong on power. Isn't going to be able to make advantage of that move for now. Although he's still sat behind Mirko Lanfranchi, so we'll wait and see if something else can come from this here, as he's actually managed to preoccupy Lanfranchi so much that Eri Fastel hasn't suffered too much from clonking the wall and has stayed ahead of the both of them for now. as Danny McCutcheon gets past Gabriele Crepezzi. I'm not sure what's happened there, although I think Crepezzi is going to get straight back at him on the inside of turn 4. The McLaren brakes later. The Ferrari man tries to hold it around the outside, does so, but loses the position. And it's still Gabriele Crepezzi in P11, getting past Danny McCutcheon. Actually, I hadn't realised that was what was going on there. I thought he was defending. Oh, as possibly Dave Brewster going for a move. Indeed he does, up the inside of Mirko Lanfranchi into the first of the 2-3 chicanes here at Zola. Very nice move, well done. We might see our first podium position change here. Yuval Sharon right behind Francesco Maggio, sorry. .3 is currently the gap. Last lap, Francesco Maggio 0.2 slower than Yuval Sharon. Oh, gets bouncy over the curbs, loses some time. And that is going to be the end of that battle for a little while longer, but we'll continue to watch it, because I think it could be a hot point of this race, this fight for the final podium position. I think you can argue Grant Willamot and Alexi Degani are too quick. Last lap, Alexi Degani posted another fastest lap, 27.1. How is he getting faster through the race? Mad. Davide Mandalesi now, right on the back of Salah. Last lap, Davide Mandalesi was 1.3 seconds faster than Salah. He just needs to keep his cool. He'll get past him naturally. Degani caught the flow for real, man. Degani is locked in right now. I don't think there's been a lap so far this race until just now where he's gone slower than he did the lap before. He's just been cruising through. Davide Mandalesi has a 15-second penalty. That'll be for the incident with Barry Hargan in the first corners. Bart DeCalva has a 10-second penalty. Andrea Morganella has a 10-second penalty. And Lely has 35 seconds of penalties. Also with a penalty is Gabriele Crepezzi. +5 for him at the moment. Airy Fastel, that was getting past. Oh, Dan McCutcheon has had an off. Where is he? There he is. Dan McCutcheon spinning and spinning and spinning again in that Ferrari. It's going to rejoin here, but in the grass it's difficult to get moving. There he is, comes out P18. And I have a funny feeling there's going to be some rather heavy damage to that Ferrari somewhere that we cannot see on stream right now. So all of these penalties will be served in the first pit cycle, the first pit stop, or well, the only pit stop for most cars. So here we go, 10 seconds for car 6. That's for Andrea Morganella. That's for a punt to pass on lap on car 2. On lap 1, car 2 is Salah, who Davide Mandalesi, Andrea Morganella's teammate, is currently fighting with. 15 seconds for car 71. That is for Davide Mandalesi. That's causing a collision with car 67, Barry Hargan, as I expected, on lap 1. 15 seconds for car 128 for causing a collision with car 6 on lap 1. That's 15 seconds of Lely's penalties accounted for. Then 20 seconds for car 128 for causing a collision with car 190 on lap 3, 190 Sam Ganley. and the 6 car is Andrea Morganella. That explains why there was so much chopping and changing going on in those positions, as Davide Mandalesi is going to get past Salah here, easily blasted past before the braking zone, back onto the ideal racing line, and is through. And then the 10 seconds for car 777, that's Bart de Calva, is for causing a collision with Zeta Pickering on lap 5. That'll be why Zeta lost those positions and ended up back in P24, one would expect. I should be able to show you the time gaps between drivers, I just can't remember the buttons to do it. I cannot remember the buttons for the life of me to cycle through. No, I don't know how to get it to... I can probably find... Hold on, give me 2 seconds and I'll find the buttons to do it. No, F2 just takes you through the through the options here. Oh, maybe I'll be able to find it in here. We'll try Shift D, see if that works. No, Shift D and Control D don't work. Whoa! No, that's the camera option. I didn't mean to do that. No, take me back to my helicam. Take me back to the helicam. There we go. Whoa! Helicam had a moment. I cannot find any button that is telling me how to do this right now. Am I going insane? I feel like I might be going insane. Well, I'll tell you what we can do though, is we can change the track map so we've got the whole... and all the car numbers as well. That way if there's an incident I can see what's going on. Handy. But other than that, I don't think there's anything I can do, unless these do something. No. No. No, none of those are doing anything. WASD aren't doing anything. I give up. No, I can't. I might be able to if I had brain cells, but I can't remember how to do it. Sorry. Maybe I need to set up my MFD cycle buttons and then I might be able to do it. I did it, chat. Chat, I did a thing. I'm officially a genius. Davide Mandolesi there, looking around the outside of Mirko Lanfranchi. Not going to come off that time. Yeah, lots of big gaps out there at the moment. Loris Squaglio looking as well. Yeah, the gap at the top is mad. Degani is just running away with it right now. It's undeniable. He is ridiculously quick. Oh my god, he's just disconnected. The leader has just disconnected from the race. Degani has just disconnected. I'm not kidding you. The top two have disconnected. Both of them. The top two have both disconnected. Francesco Maggio is now P2 in this race. Grant Willemot and Alexei Degani have both disconnected. We are down to 19 cars running, and Francesco Maggio inherits the lead. Yuval Sharon inherits P2, and Dan Edfordson inherits P3. That is incredible. I've never seen that happen before. 20 cars now in the server. As Zeta Pickering manages to join back. So we've got 21 cars in the server. Sorry, 21 cars. Trying to see if any of the leaders are... Barry Hargan is disconnected as well. So we've clearly had some sort of server issue. 3 people all disconnecting in the same time span as each other. P1, P2, and Barry Hargan, who was running, I believe, about P15 at the time, disconnected. Grant Willemot is back in the session, P20 in the pit lane. Barry Hargan back in the session as well in the pit lane. Lost a lot of drivers there. Pierluigi Lelli manages to get past Bart de Gouwer. I think Bart de Gouwer might have a problem with the car here. Losing time. Gabriele Crepezzi thinking about trying to get past Ari Fastel, but it's not happening at the moment. Grant Willemot still sat in the pit lane and losing laps. Currently 2 laps down on the leader. Needs to be out the pit lane within another 40 seconds, or he'll be 3 laps down on the leaders by the time he gets moving. So disappointing to see that happen. I hate it when people get disconnected from the servers. Don't know what's been going on with ACC servers recently. We've been having real problems with them. Barry Hargan back out on track in P20. 3 laps down on the leader. Oh no, only 2 laps down, sorry. The number 4 car is just behind him. I mean, it's just really disappointing to see, you know. Like Alexei Degani, there was almost no way he wasn't going to win this race. there's just not there's just not any reliable, just not any reliable servers out there at the moment. It's really disappointing. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we try. All of the servers seem to have very, very similar issues. We don't know if it's a. We don't know if it's a. We don't know if it's a load thing, but I don't think it would be, because but you know, the load isn't excessive on this server. We've got maybe 30 people connected tops, 24 drivers and 5 streamers, and 5 members of staff. You know, if a server can't handle 29 people, what are we using it for? It's just, but we have the same issues everywhere we go. It's just really disheartening. No, that's exactly what I was just saying. It's definitely not the load, because we've only got like 25 people connected. It's just, yeah, it's just difficult to see. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that put a lot of practice into these races. And Alexei Degani is back in as well. Already 4 laps down on the leaders. That's about to be 5. Yeah, it's disappointing. Alexei Degani should have won that race by a long way. And the thing is, I don't know if it's like an ACC side thing, because the fact that it is pretty much every server organizer that is that's having these issues. Mirko Lanfranchi as well, I think, got booted out of the session. Either that or is in for an early pit stop for damage. I don't know if it's just ACC neglecting, whether it's just QNOS neglecting the game because they know they've got AC2 coming. But this is the issue, you know, behind iRacing, ACC is currently the biggest league racing platform out there, I would say. The F1 games everyone's leaving behind because they're rubbish. So ACC, QNOS can't afford to just neglect the server. Because when you neglect it like they are at the moment, we can't, you know. Like, how are you supposed to run any races when every time you turn on a server there's a random chance that 5 or 6 people are going to get disconnected? How are you supposed to do it? It's just not possible. And it's only more annoying seeing it as a staff member, you know, because we put so much time into these things, just for it not to work out. And that's Sam Ganley into the pit, possibly spun, I think, losing positions down to P18 for now. Alexei Degani, I think, is still waiting for his, as Barry Hargan leaves the pit. Not sure what happened there, maybe accidentally loaded in on the quali setup. Alexei Degani waiting for the pit lock on controls to run out, as Davide Canton is now starting to close out to the back of Bruno Zanchi. But yeah, this is just... You know, I've got to be, you know, PG about it because I'm live on platforms that that demonetize people for saying swear words. But they're the words that I really want to use to describe this situation because it is, you know. No, LMU is absolutely not a scam. Definitely not. Oh, Davide Canton gets past Bruno Zanchi, takes the second apex of the chicane wrong. And now I think as well, Loris Guaglio. Ooh, that was close. And the Ollie trademarked commentator noises are back. Anytime anyone else makes a noise doing commentary, they have to pay me 10p. That's how it works. Oh yeah, Rensport is 100% bait. Chatting all this about it being the most realistic GT3 simulator when they're running on bloomin' RF2 physics packages. Gabriele Crepezzi into the pit lane. 46 minutes left of the race. As it stands, gap at the front is 1.7, 1.5, sorry, make that. Yuval Sharon, 0.4 of a second faster last lap than Francesco Maggio. Yes, stolen RF2 packages, it's even worse than that. Stolen RF2 packages. See, the thing is, Amirius, you can race for years on iRacing without having spent that much money, is the thing. Sure, you have to buy the subscription, I understand that. But you can pay very little money to race in brilliant series. It's the tracks where you really have to spend the cash. But overall, you really don't have to spend that much. You know, there are plenty of, I mean, there's 4 series a week, 4 series where you don't have to spend anything. They are just completely free in the base version of the game. You know, they're not necessarily brilliant. Mazda Cup and Oval Legends, Street Stock, the Formula 1600s and the Formula V. So actually 5 series that you can do completely on base game content. It's when you start looking at new, like you only have to buy 1 car from a series to be able to partake in it, but it's the tracks that cost. The tracks are where they hide the cost, really. See, the monthly cost for iRacing isn't horrific when you divide it across a year, is my thing. Like, I've paid 70 quid for iRacing this year, but when you look at it, that's, what, divided by 12 months, that's like less than 5 quid a month to have the, oh, just over, about 6 quid a month to have the game, you know? Like, I'm not massively fussed by that. That is not much for for a sim that is as good as it is. Lots of people in the pit lane now. Lots and lots of people. Vanny Yellow, Guaglio, Davide Mandalesi, and oh no, there he is, Davide Canton, all into the pit lane. I always forget that I've got like massive, there's always like stream delay, so when I talk to you guys can't hear me until like 20 or 30 seconds later. Yeah, man, I think I bought my iRacing subscription in like on like Black Friday. Cost me literally next to nothing for the year. Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see what AC2 can bring to the table. I think it's undeniably a very good game in ACC. And if they can recreate how good this game is, just with more stuff, you know, more content, I think it will be, you know, it'll undeniably be a good thing for sim racing, I think. Because this is a very easy game to, it's a very easy game to use. It doesn't cost loads. So yeah. Battle here for P5. Lely gets past Tatari, although I think Tatari might have just come out of the pits. Obviously, this is a pit cycle thing. Yuval Sharon into the pit lane. Also, no, not Dan Edvardson. Dan Edvardson stays out.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
Halfway through the race now. And Tartari is sticking with Lely here. Atari into the pit lane. Callum Jones chasing Bart de Calva for P5 at the moment, although I think Bart is yet to pit. Indeed he is. Bart de Calva moving out of the way there very nicely. And Bruno Zanchi now chasing Airy Fastow. Bruno Zanchi was at the head of this Ferrari train earlier on, so has lost time and ground somewhere. Oh, he had the spin, didn't he? Of course. Hey, don't hate on the Lotus GT4. The Lotus GT4 isn't even bad. It's genuinely a decent car. Point 2 now, the gap between Bruno Zanchi and Airy Fastow. The Ferrari driver looking to make a move. That's going to be down to point 1 very quickly. Indeed it is. Yeah, the Lotus GT4 isn't a bad car. It also doesn't explode every 3 laps like the Lotus GT3 did, which is always handy. And Bruno Zanchi gets past. Yuval Sharon now trying to get past Dan Edvardsen. Both of these guys have pit, so Dan Edvardsen is effectively P2 right now. Has managed to move ahead of Yuval Sharon in the meantime. Yuval Sharon not able to get past. Yeah, the Lotus GTE, sorry, I forgot that it was back in the GTE regs. The thing was not horrific on 1 lap pace, but the Lotus GTE did like to it did like to deconstruct itself, blow its engine up, generally stop functioning quite a lot, you know. Yuval Sharon still right behind Dan Edfordson. Be interesting to see maybe Yuval Sharon can make the move back. To P2, but we will wait and see. Obviously not going to be easy. Because Dan Edfordson is going to be looking as much as possible to keep that that P2 secured. The 0.3 is the gap. Yuval Sharon really just closing in on the back of him. .6 the gap now. Yuval Sharon just falling behind a little bit, although he did gain a tenth on that last lap. 31 minutes left to go in this race means we'll be finishing pretty much bang on 20 past 9 UK time, BST. Have we got a stop go 30? Indeed we have, for Salah. I'm assuming that will be for track limits or for speeding in the pit lane for Salah there, I expect. Because I don't think we've had any more penalties given out since lap 5. No, we haven't. Very clean racing here from everyone tonight, which is nice to see. Yuval Sharon now has fallen back drastically, as this is Salah coming into the pit lane to serve that stop go 30, I would expect. Indeed he does. He's going to lose a couple of positions from it. 2-3 positions he's going to lose. Going to be down to P15 after this one is served. This is interesting. Callum Jones here, I think, is making slight time on Yuval Sharon. Indeed he is making time. Not gaining as much this lap, I don't think. Callum Jones falling away, in fact, a little bit at the moment. Behind Degani was Grant Willamot, who yeah, rejoined and then left again due to the issues we were experiencing. Yeah, time lost that lap for Callum Jones. So I think the podium might just be out of the question. However, Bruno Zanchi has closed back up onto the tail end of Airi Fastel. Airi Fastel last lap over a second off the pace. Clearly a little bit of an off for Airi Fastel somewhere in that last lap. And Bruno Zanchi now smelling P8, sniffing an opportunity. Oh. Almost running into the back of Airi Fastel there was Bruno Zanchi, in fact. .5 is the gap. Capezzi getting past Tatari, who I'm going to assume has had an off there. Indeed he has. A 1 minute 30 lap time. That car's very broken actually. One of the steering arms not connected, I would guess. Or possibly one of the rear steering arms not connected. That rear left corner looks like it's a little bit pointing in the wrong direction. But we'll see. Into the pit lane he comes. That's going to be a long repair time, unfortunately. Bruno Zanchi. Whoa! Hold the phone. Fight for the lead. Dan Edfordson last lap, 4/10 faster than Francesco Maggio. This is into the final 20 minutes. And we are going to have a fight for the lead. .3. The gap is closing here. Though we'll wait and see if it's going to be by enough. .3, still the gap. That time out, Dan Edfordson just a 10th faster. 0.7 now the gap. Dan Edfordson just making a little bit of a mistake through the first of the chicanes there. Just widens the gap, gives Francesco Maggio a second to think. As Lely gets past Sam Ganley as well, that would have been through turns 1, 2 and 3. Davide Canton looking possibly to get past so many people. Dario Vianello, there we go, I got it right eventually. We'll wait and see. 20 minutes to go and things are starting to hot back up again in this World Tour Series race. Davide Canton getting a slightly better exit there, I would argue. This is a lapped car ahead of them. Oh, there's contact! Dario Vianello keeps the position. The McLaren should be getting out the way of Davide Canton. Indeed he does. There was contact, but they've got out of it okay. Barry Hargan getting past Sam Ganley there as well. 0.7, still the gap here. .6 again, the gap now, just ebbing and flowing. No one really able to get properly close enough to make a move. In these kind of closing ends of the in these closing stages of the race, just no one quite able to get close enough. It's close, but just not quite. If you've enjoyed the racing that we've seen here tonight, do remember to leave a like on the video, on the live, and please do consider following if you haven't already, if you have enjoyed what we've seen here tonight. It's been a very, very good World Tour race, although plagued by a few technical difficulties. We have raised the issue with the host. And we are going to be investigating that using the IP addresses of those who were disconnected. And we'll be working closely with our server hosts to make sure that we can resolve these issues, because they have been plaguing everyone a little bit. I believe that is Salah looking to get past Mirko Lanfranchi, or possibly the other way around. I think actually Lanfranchi might have just got past Francesco Sala. Indeed, I think he has. Bart de Calva just behind Andrea Morganella, although I think possibly Morganella has only just passed Bart de Calva. We'll wait and see. Gap at the front is back to being a second again, less than a second. That lap was a 4/10 gain for Dan Edvardsen. A new personal best as well for Dan Edvardsen that lap. He is really, really closing in. 17 minutes left to go now. Davide Canton might get the move done here. Go to the outside, brakes later, but there's no way you're getting around the outside of that second chicane. .1 the gap between Bruno Zanchi and Ari Fastel. Again, no move going down at that second chicane. We haven't seen a drive through for track limits yet, so clearly the guys are keeping it relatively neat and tidy through that section of the track. But here we go, this might be the move now. Bruno Zanchi pops his nose out, lets Ari Fastel know that he's going to be going for it. Gets to the apex on the inside, can't outdrive the Aston Martin on the exit. Ari Fastel keeps that position for now. Side by side, Francesco Sala and Mirko Lanfranchi. In fact, I would say possibly Mirko Lanfranchi just braking a little bit late and physically blocking Francesco Sala there. .2 still the gap between Bruno Zanchi and Ari Fastel. There's plenty of action to finish the race here. Oh man. Bruno Zanchi, there we go, there's the move done by Bruno Zanchi on Ari Fastel, and here's the move done by Dan Edvardsson into the lead. Francesco Maggio falling behind as they came across Zita Pickering on track. Dan Edvardsson took the path of least resistance and managed to get past. Dan Edvardsson moves into the lead of the race with just under 15 minutes left to go. .3 still the gap between Davide Canton and Dario Vianello. .2, .1. Not going this time at the chicane. Can Davide Canton get a better run out of the chicane though? .2, .1. Possibly this time. Going to be too far away. Shows his nose to the inside. Returns to the racing line to take the fastest line through this sequence of 3 corners. Using more of the track, interestingly, is Davide Canton. Really pushing. Yeah, it did look awkward for Zita. Just had to split the middle and hope. Yeah, just had to split the middle and hope that no one was going to hit her. Although 0.5 now the gap. .7. Yeah, Zita just there, just having to run the middle and hope that neither of the cars lapping her would bump into her. Always difficult to do. Never fun. 0.9, 0.8 the gap between Davide Canton and Dario Vianello. Still, neither of them really outright faster than the other. gap ebbs and flows, but never gets close enough for one to make the move on the other. So yeah, 0.7 it sits at for now. Bart de Calva as well, still closing in on Andrea Morganella. That gap is 0.8 as it stands. Again, still not able to get close enough to make a move happen there with Bart de Calva. .3 the gap now between Dario Vianello and Davide Canton, getting closer. And there's a move there. Actually, it's Lely getting past Bart de Calva, who I think has probably gone off track somewhere. Bart de Calva letting people by very sensibly there, letting them through. Oh, Francesco Maggio has managed to get back within a second of the leader with 9.5 minutes to go. Again, down to 0.3 between Davide Canton and Dario Vianello. But there's never enough pace difference between the two of them for for either Davide to get past or for Dario to run away. So they're kind of just sitting there waiting right now for something to happen. .6 now the gap, 0.5 the gap at the front, 0.4 the gap at the front, 0.3 the gap at the front, and extends back out again as Francesco Maggio runs over the gravel on the exit of the chicane. Back out to 1.3 seconds. Although, right as I say that, Dan Edvardson takes a bad jump of the curbs through that first chicane. Gap is back down to 0.4. Francesco Maggio has the bit between his teeth. He is going to give Dan Edvardson an absolute run for his money to the end of the race. I think Dan is just that little bit faster. Oh, and Lely's had an off here. Pierluigi Lely has fallen behind both Andrea Morganella and Bart de Calva, who is now only 3/10 behind Andrea Morganella and closing 2/10 behind, 1/10 behind. Andrea Morganella goes defensive into turn 1. Bart de Calva may be able to make something happen here in the Aston Martin. Again, 0.2. Point 1. Andrea Morganella setting up defensive early on. Let's Bart know that there's not going to be an opening there for him. That gap is back out to 0.4. Point 2 again, the gap with Bart de Calva and Andrea Morganella. Point 8, point 9, the gap just expanding away again, and it's the same kind of story as with Davide Canton up ahead. There's just not enough of a pace swing between them for one to either definitively stay ahead or the other to definitively get past. Into the last 2 minutes of the race now, and that means we are going to have this lap and only one more, I believe. Leader is now on the final lap. So we have not got much longer left. .4 the gap for Bart de Calva. He's got one more lap. Unless they take the checkered flag here, which I think actually they're going to. No, they get the one more lap. They get one more lap. Of course, it's only if you're a lap down that you take the checkered flag. Directly after the leader has crossed the line.
The leader has finished the race.
And that is Dan Edgerton coming home to finish P1 here in the World Tour Season 2. It's Francesco Maggio finishing P2 in the number 4 McLaren. Yuval Sharon finishes P3 with Callum Jones finishing P4. Next across the line is going to be Dario Vianello with Davide Canton right behind him in 5th and 6th respectively. Then it's going to be Loris Guaglio in P7 with Bruno Zanchi behind him P8. Eri Fastel finishes P9 with Dave Brewster in P10. Davide Mandalesi is going to come home P11. Gabriele Crapezzi has already taken the flag in P12 with Andrea Morganelli finishing P13. Bart de Calva will finish P14 with Pierluigi Lelli finishing P15. Then it's going to be Mirko Lanfranchi, who's also already taken the flag in 16th, with Sam Ganley finishing 17th overall. No, sorry, 15th for Lanfranchi, 17th for Sam Ganley, then 17th for... Whoa, I've just completely lost count of where I am. People have left the server and it's messing with my brain. But yeah, there we go. We will now move to our stream interview page. I will close down ACC. You'll stop hearing the noise from that in a second. There we go. And I will actually join the comms box and ask if anyone would like to come for an interview. And here we go, straight away, eager into the interview box as always. It's Callum Jones, one of Toga Esports' very own, finishing P4 that race, just behind the podium and getting very close before the end of the race. Callum, how was that for you?
I am so glad that race is over, I'll be honest.
Really?
I'm knackered. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but I got COVID yesterday, so I am...
Oh yes, of course.
Running
No, I did see.
I'm running at half capacity, probably.
If not less.
Yeah, that was tough. It was tough.
No, I'm sure.
So yeah, to get a P4 out of that, should have really been P6 with those disconnects from P1 and P2, but...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really disappointing.
To get P4, yeah, very happy with that.
Really disappointing to see the servers somewhat letting us down again.
Indeed.
You know, we never like to see the servers giving out and people disconnecting, but it's unfortunately really just out of our control. It's out of our hands. But yeah, I mean P4 for you is a really good result. Is Zolder one of your more preferred tracks, or would you say that this result was a little bit of a kind of out of the blue result for you?
Zolder's not one of my best tracks, and mainly because I don't really drive on it, I'll be honest. So yeah, again, getting that P4, just didn't quite have enough to go with the top guys. Maybe could have got P3. I'll blame COVID for not getting P3.
Yeah, yeah, of course, I understand completely.
But yeah, happy with that
Yeah, absolutely.
overall. Just
So,
a nice, clean, quiet race, which is what I wanted. I didn't want any pressure from behind, which is what happened. So I didn't really have to think apart from just staying alive and staying on the track, basically.
next race we are at. We are. I'm just finding the calendar. Give me a second. I'm working on it. I'm cooking. Here we go. We're at Alton Park
Alton Park.
next week. Is that a strong track for you? Do you think that's maybe one where you'll be able to take the fight to the podium runners a little bit more, or do you think maybe with this long running COVID, do you think maybe you might be a little bit out of it for next week's race as well?
Well, obviously, I'm hoping to be better. I've only done Alton Park in the Bentley and the Porsche Cup, but both of those races went quite well. So I'm hoping, because I've been generally quicker in the Mustang than I was in the Bentley.
Yeah, and
I'm
I'd
hoping-
argue if you're used to driving oversteery cars at Alton Park, then
Yeah.
the Ford isn't going to be anything too different from what you're used to, right?
No, definitely not. So yeah, and it should be good over the curbs on those chicanes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Very similar to today, actually, with the
Indeed.
with the curb situation. Right. Well, I wish you the best of luck at Alton Park next weekend, and I hope you recover pretty quickly. But we are going to be moving on now.
Thank you, Ollie.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, mate. Have a good
Cheers.
rest of your weekend. And we are going to be moving on now to Dan Edvardson. Here we go. Dan, how did that race go for you, mate? I mean, obviously P1 in the end.
Pretty well.
But did you feel that was a result that you were necessarily expecting, or is Zolder a
Nope.
weaker track for you?
No, I don't like Solder.
You don't
So,
like Zolder. Well, that's the
that
end of
was-
this
I was
interview.
pretty
Thank you. No, I mean, yeah, it was really unlucky for the two guys to get the disconnects ahead of you, but obviously there was the fight at the end. Francesco Maggio did have a decent buffer of time after the pit stop cycles were over, and you did manage to make that up. It's undeniable. You managed to make up that time. You were consistently faster, made up the time, got the positions, and managed to overtake him. Obviously, it took a good few laps. The gap was kind of ebbing and flowing as the laps went past. Some laps it looked like you were, just a matter of corners away from making a move, and some laps you were over a second away from the back of Francesco, but made the move stick in the end and came home to win, even with a late comeback from Francesco. So yeah, overall a really, really good race from you.
Pretty well. Like, I don't like Solder. Like, I make tiny mistakes all the time, and so did Francesco. So
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
a tough one. But
For sure.
got
Looking
lucky.
forward to next weekend. Looking forward to next weekend. Next Friday, and we are at Alton Park. Is that a track that you feel particularly strong at, or do you think
Nope.
maybe it's a track where you're going to be struggling?
When I saw the calendar, I thought like Solder and Alton Park. I need a lucky result on one of them, and then I have a drop round. So
Oh,
now
wonderful.
I got the lucky result. So let's see what happens at Alton.
Yeah, although saying that, I guess
Not-
there's every chance that another lucky result like this could happen
Yeah.
again, and then
Like,
you'd be
I
really
like
making
the
some
track,
money.
but I'm not really fast at it.
Yeah, fair enough. I can understand that. There's always a difference between liking a track and being fast at it.
Yeah.
So I can definitely understand that. But yeah, I hope you have the best of luck next weekend, next Friday at Alton Park, and I'm sure I will be seeing you in the comms box. Hopefully sometime shortly after that Alton Park race is finished. So yeah, best of luck, mate.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Same to you.
Yeah, see you in a
Bye.
bit. Bye. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of the race weekend here in Toga Motorsport. It's been another brilliant weekend. Been another brilliant week for racing. I keep on saying weekend. My brain's ahead of itself. It's been another brilliant week for racing here at Toga Motorsport, with the Rookie Wednesday series earlier on in the week, and obviously this brilliant World Tour Season 2 race as well here on Friday night at Toga Motorsport. We now have not a couple of days off. We've got the Community Bash race tomorrow, but that is not being live streamed. There are still some spots open, so if you're interested, we have got a big grid, I think 80 cars or so, big grid taking to Spa tomorrow evening. So if you would like to take part in that race, get over to the SimGrid page and sign up as soon as possible, because the last few slots are leaving. I think there are only slots left in GT2 and possibly GT4 as of right now. But thank you very much, everyone, for being here with me tonight. Thank you, Mank. And I will see you all sometime next week, I expect. Have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you then in a bit.